in the fridge the next morning. Okay, here's my rice and chicken or whatever it is.
So we've got bacon medallions, nice and lean, eggs, very good, and spinach, very good.
I would have been on the overnight oats, and then I did a bit of smoothies with oats in them and stuff like that.
Hi everyone, what's the story, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. So today we're going to be covering what exact meals and foods the top 1% of Gaelic footballers have. So by the end of this video, you're going to know what meals they eat the most often. Over the past 16 years, I've trained over 1,000 Gaelic footballers, and success leaves clues. Over 16 years, you start to see exactly what to do when it comes to nutrition for Gaelic football. You start to see exactly what not to do. You start to see what the fellas who stay in great shape year round, who build muscle without getting fat, do. And you start to see what the fellas who spin their wheels, who are always training, they're always in the gym, they're always at pitch sessions, but they're never getting any fitter. You start to get a very clear picture of some very obvious trends. And that's what we're going to cover in today's video. Also, in the last 16 years, I myself, I've done 3 bodybuilding shows. I've done phases of powerlifting, trying to lift as heavy as possible. I've done 7 or 8 different photo shoots, and I've got people into just as impressive shape as I've ever got, dozens of times. Except they didn't have to go through all the pain and the trial and error that I went through, because I could just guide them along the way and direct them towards these few habits. So to start off, we're going to take a quick look at this video from David Clifford, who's probably on his way to being the greatest footballer of all time, unfortunately if you're from Mayo, and how simple his diet is.
What's your go-to meal? Yeah, it's I suppose my go-to. I'm not the best chef. We eat a lot of kind of curries and stir fries and turkey burgers. A lot of they're kind of our main staples. We do different stir fries. Different. We do like might have a chicken noodle type dish with some bit of veg and a bit of sauce, and that's kind of our go-to.
Now, if you didn't see who was talking there and you changed the Kerry accent, maybe that could be literally any footballer from any county in Ireland who's in good shape, who's given a very, very similar answer to that. Hundreds of recipes to choose from that you see in recipe books or fucking air fryer recipes. A lot of coaches online with loads of bullshit recipes. It's complete nonsense. The best players and the players in the best shape who stay in the best shape long term, they're having very simple meals and repeatable meals. And if you think about it, it has to be that way. It has to be simple, it has to be easy to repeat. There isn't too many Gaelic footballers who are excellent chefs, but there's a lot of them who are in good shape, who are good enough at cooking. They're good enough to keep it tasty, keep it healthy, and something that they don't mind eating over and over again. And that's what you need to learn. So to go through the 5 main meals that Gaelic footballers, the top ones, are eating, and that's what keeps them in such excellent shape. The first one is they'll have something with eggs. So it might be an omelette, or it might be scrambled eggs and sourdough, and it usually has something like maybe packet ham or turkey slices, or might have packet chicken pieces, and that'll be in some sort of omelette or a scrambled egg, as we said, usually with some spinach or cheese. That's a very, very popular meal among a lot of Gaelic footballers. It's very high in protein. You have some carbohydrates there with the sourdough bread. Eggs are a superfood. They've got plenty of healthy fats in them as well. It's an excellent meal, an excellent choice. The second meal that's extremely popular will be of no surprises. A lot of you will eat this a lot yourselves. It's just chicken and rice. Now, I've learned over the years how to turn my chicken and rice from tasting like cardboard and being very, very plain, all the way to get it extremely tasty that I actually can't wait to eat it every day. The difference between bland, plain, dry chicken and rice is simply knowing how to cook it properly. So I do it with a curry with a few spices, but basically however you do it, you're gonna need spices and salt and maybe a little bit of oil, and that will make it taste excellent. The way I've found the best way to cook chicken lately is definitely in the air fryer. It's the least dry, it tastes nice, and then to mix it with the rice then afterwards. That's super popular. Again, it's high in protein. You've plenty of carbohydrates there from the rice. You can get some vegetables in there on the side too. The third meal is my personal favorite meal of all time. No matter what restaurant I go to anywhere in the world, Cape Town in South Africa, Buenos Aires in Argentina, I usually order steak and potatoes. If I'm at a really good restaurant, I'll have a really good steak. I absolutely love it. But the beauty of this is I'm from Ireland and I was raised on excellent steak. My mother always got really high quality meat from the butchers, So many of you watching this video will be able to relate to that. In Ireland, we have the highest quality steak in the world. There's a lot of drama actually about this recently with the Mercosur trade deal. But maybe if you grow up like I did in Ireland, you don't actually realize how blessed you are. And how could you unless you travel a little bit and you start seeing the meat prices, the prices of red meat. You try some of the red meat from around the world and it's not as good. So in Ireland, we are blessed with high quality steak. I would be taking advantage of that, going and making friends with your local butcher and making sure you're getting high quality sirloin, round, ribeye, whatever you prefer. It's not going to make a huge difference, only a little bit of fat content difference. And you're having that with potatoes or sweet potatoes. I love potatoes or sweet potatoes in the air fryer with some salt, again with some spices. That's an epic meal and it's very, very common among Gaelic footballers. Steak and potatoes, you really can't go wrong no matter what way you cook the potatoes. Meal number 4 that I see all the time, it's kind of 2 or 3 meals but very similar ingredients. So it's protein smoothie, protein powder and fruit, protein oats, which would be protein powder, maybe some fruit and some oats, or protein pancakes. Very, very similar meals there, just different way of cooking the exact same foods. It's a great chance for you to get some higher fiber foods in like berries and oats, and also a scoop or 2 of protein. Protein powder is very common with Gaelic footballers. I've trained over the years as it's so convenient. You know, those meals are very, very fast and easy to cook. For me, my absolute favorite would be a smoothie. I have a smoothie every day. For most days of the last 10 years, I've had a smoothie. They tick a lot of boxes. My smoothie I have is very, very high in protein. So it's 2 scoops of protein, so about 40 grams. I put the scoop of creatine in there. Then I have the strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries, which are all high in fiber. Great way of getting loads of vitamins and minerals in there too. I get a banana or 2 in there, avocado, and it tastes absolutely delicious. It's super, super fast. And I don't mind having it all the time. In fact, I think it tastes like a dessert. It's very, very sweet. So whether you do that with oats or pancakes, you can make those meals taste absolutely delicious as well. And they're very, very common with the top players who stay lean year round. And finally, as David Clifford mentioned in that video, turkey burger stir fry. Turkey burgers are super popular. Again, we can get high quality turkey burgers in Ireland. You want to be careful, some of the brands will be poorer quality, but if you're getting them in your local butcher, like I recommend, like Paul Kane's, which is where I go in Clamars, you'll get really high quality meats and they'll be very lean. There won't be so much fat in them. Now, not all fat from steak or chicken or turkey is bad. You just don't want too much fat, and the more processed the burgers are, the less quality the meat will be. So make sure you're getting them from a good high quality source. Having that in a stir fry with some rice or with some noodles like David Clifford mentioned, or with some grains of some sort and some peppers, absolutely delicious, very easy to cook as well. Now what I will say, there's 3 key elements to these meals that make them as such an effective foundation for a top Gaelic footballer's diet. And the 3 key elements are: they fit the calories and macros, they're very fast to cook, and they taste good. Again, I'll repeat myself, Gaelic footballers are not master chefs. It's not that difficult to make this food taste amazing. So if you don't like eating any of these meals, it's probably not the food's fault, it's probably your fault for your terrible cooking skills. Even if you have the best steak in the world, if you make balls of it when you're cooking it, it's not going to taste that great. So you need to find a way to make it taste excellent and practice these meals. First time you cook them, it might take way too long and it might not taste the best, but you practice getting better at cooking and you can make them in far faster time and make them taste a lot better. And then whether they're tracking calories and macros or not is irrelevant. The foods are the proper calories and macros for their goals, or else they wouldn't be in shape. But with high quality foods like this and high quality meals, it's always that bit easier to make sure the calories and the macros are on point because the food quality is so high. In terms of other things, well, first of all, fish is absolutely amazing, but I don't eat enough fish myself. I find that's very common with a lot of Gaelic footballers. So fish is incredible, especially salmon. I actually really enjoy eating it. It's just hard to get, and I'm not the best at cooking it, so I don't really make it. So then across with fruits and vegetables, the fellas in the best shape tend to eat a lot more fruits and vegetables and a lot less processed food than the fellas who are out of shape. And that's not just for Gaelic footballers, that's literally all of society. People who eat more fruits and vegetables tend to be in far better shape, digestion, health, energy levels, than people who eat far more processed food. So get those fruits and vegetables in there. Finally, I get asked about snacking all the time, and my advice on snacking would be, for the most part, snacking is a mistake. Have your 3 square meals, like most of the top players that I've dealt with have. And if you need to snack in between, it's because you're underweight, you struggle to eat enough calories and you're trying to gain weight. Apart from that, leave it out. If you're trying to maintain, or if you're trying to stay lean, or if you're trying to lose body fat, you want to keep snacking out, because snacks tend to be foods that are higher in carbohydrates or fats and lower in protein. So you might have fruit, yogurts, nuts, things like that. So even if they're healthier foods or unprocessed foods, they're still very low on protein. So you want 3 square meals, each of them with maybe 40 to 60 grams of protein from the main protein source, and then it really is that simple. Getting this type of diet set up at the beginning can feel like a lot of work, but trust me, when you actually get it set up and you get it done on autopilot and you get used to it, the right amount of calories, making it taste good, the right amount of protein, it's actually no more effort, and probably less effort and less expensive than your chaotic diet at the minute, where you're eating randomly, you're buying out a lot of the time, you're eating in delis. That's going to end up over the course of the month being far more expensive than shopping for high quality ingredients, planning your meals, and then cooking them, making them taste good at home. So it might be a little bit more expensive to go to the butcher, but if you have high quality foods at home and you know how to cook them properly, you're not going to eat out nearly as much or on the road nearly as much. So there it is. It's actually extremely simple to eat this way and straightforward, and to get yourself in the top 1% of Gaelic footballers when it comes to body fat and muscle mass. It's hard work, and it can be difficult to change habits at the beginning. But once you have it set up, it's no harder than the diet you're already on the minute. And always think about that. If there's hundreds or even thousands of Gaelic footballers doing it, how hard can it be? All you need to do is learn it, and that might take a period of a few months, like I go through with my clients, to teach them how to implement these skills, rather than just giving them a food plan, follow that, and the food plan ends and they haven't educated themselves or learned any new cooking skills. If you've been enjoying this content and you're finding it helpful, please don't forget to subscribe. It's a huge help to the page. Thanks very much for watching. Let's go.